What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the DGD Podcast. I'm your host, Robert Reynolds. That's Keon, Caleb beside me here over here. How are y'all doing this evening, folks? How are y'all doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Can't complain.
Yeah, full bore into fall camp, I'd imagine. 4 practices in, and there's a lot of news coming out of that. We're going to talk about that. Coaches poll dropped. We're going to bring that up. We're going to talk about that, give our thoughts on that. Dawgs got another commit. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, 31 commits in this class. We're going to talk about that too. First things first, make sure to like, follow, subscribe, rate us, review us. Let's get started. Fall camp underway. 4 practices in. Keon, what would you be surprised if I told you that Noah Thomas has been just unstoppable?
Honestly, I wouldn't. I mean, you're looking at a guy who's coming in who's a real 6'6", long, lanky, and strong. So wouldn't be surprised on that. Do also want to say shout outs to Oscar Delp. Shout outs to Walt Claire Flynn Jr. Happy birthday to those two. I believe they had a birthday here yesterday. So just wanted to shout them out here from the DGD podcast.
Happy birthday, homie.
Happy birthday, homie.
Well, homie. But no, I thought that was I think Delps was yesterday or something like that. So I think you're right. So happy belated birthday to those gentlemen right there. Caleb, I want to pose that question to you. What are your thoughts on Noah Thomas sounding like the name to start fall camp? Just sounding unstoppable, by the way.
Well, it doesn't surprise me. I watched some of his Texas A&M highlights, and there were times that he looked unguardable even there. So it really doesn't surprise me. I'm just glad to see one of the wide receivers are shining because obviously that was a big part of our miscues last year. So I'm excited to hear that. Good thing to hear out of fall camp for sure.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You kind of want that, right? And I think what's even better so far is Gunner getting really comfortable to throw to those guys, especially the bigger receivers in some tight window throws too. That's being talked about. And you're familiar with this, right? It sounds like Zach Branch hasn't dropped a pass this whole camp so far. Obviously, things can change, but nonetheless, like hearing that. It's definitely the opposite, right? The inverse from last season. And so the farther away we can get from hearing drops or any kind of correlation to drops or problems arising, I think it's going to be better for everyone in their psyche, if you will. We got Dan in the building, Jay Shiesty in the building, and Josh Bland saying, hey, gentlemen, how are y'all? I hope everyone is doing well. But yeah, so you have Noah Thomas. You've got Gunner doing some good stuff too. And I think, honestly, the most important one might be Gunner, considering the quarterback situation. And that's the position that everybody's going to keep their eye on. That's the position that I think is the pivotal point of this team this season, right? What are there any things that are surprising you with hearing how comfortable he's gotten? Also, by the way, seems to be kind of playing aggressive so far to start camp. Got to tone that back once the season starts. You might want to start learning the slide a little bit. I know you can't be You go ahead, Ken.
Well, I will tell you this. I'd rather our quarterback be in a situation where they're being told to tone it back a little bit rather than the defense being told, hey, tone it back a little bit. Gonna ruin his confidence.
That's a fact.
Good to know that Gunner is going out there playing with a full head of steam and fighting for every yard.
Sounds like you were taking a shot there. You might add. That sounds about right, correct?
I mean, if the weather freeze, bring a jacket, right?
Yeah, if it's calling for a freeze warning, you might want to bundle up, right? Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I thought that was, by the way, we're going to do this because it's Auburn, and y'all know how I feel about anything Auburn. It's fuck Auburn at all times, on site. So hearing that, this is a little quick detour. Thank you for bringing that up. That has to be the softest shit I think I've ever heard in my life. Am I the only one that thinks that, or?
I think it's two sides of that coin, right? So it could mean one of two things. Either the quarterback is extremely rattled and, hey, we need him to have some confidence, guys, so he can deliver passes downfield. Or Auburn might come out there with a defense this year, boys. Maybe that defense is fucking him up a little bit in practice. I'm going to go with option A. Yeah, I think he's just – yeah.
Caleb looks like he's disagreeing slightly here.
Yeah. I'm going to go with option A.
Yeah. I'm not a firm believer in Mr. Arnold over there, so that's all. All I got to say is if there's one starting quarterback for Auburn that I would be appreciative of is Mr. Daniels. Besides that,
listen, Juan knows that Auburn has a special place for me
on his arm.
And the fact that I can't, yeah, he does. Oh, shh. But no, I wish all the good things for Ashton Daniels when he's not playing Georgia. But outside of that, I wish all the bad things in life would happen to every Auburn player and fan.
Right.
Nothing else.
Right.
I hate your guts. Wish, hate, as that would go. But yeah, we're gonna move on from Mr. Freeze there. It's a freeze.
Right.
Anyways, getting back to Georgia ball, right? Real ball talk. Y'all heard about the blue? The social media department was posting videos from practices and stuff. Notice the blue Guardian caps.
Yeah.
Y'all familiar with that? Or I know it's new to us, but are you familiar with what that's about, though?
Yeah. So it's representation of the fire, passion, and energy. So the blue is represented in the perfect flame of a fire. So the most fiery guys at practice are putting on the blue hats. So, the guys with the blue hats have been really standing out. So shout outs to them.
So far it seems to be CJ Allen, Colby Young, London Humphreys.
Yep.
Now I got a question. I got to shout out Brooks Austin, his crew over earlier. And they brought up a good point, and it made me ask this question because I love this idea. Will the blue caps kind of bring back the dog bones on the helmet to kind of like incentivize, right, and reflect that? When I heard that, I was like, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I was actually talking about that the other day. I want the dog bones back, man. It's just
they're nasty though. Like they're so nasty. Like they're synonymous with me and Mark Richt in the mid to late 2000s for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, they've always obviously they were a thing my whole life, man. So
yeah,
if they bring the dog bones back, I'm putting some on the back of my helmet back here.
Oh, brother. I'm just saying, in all seriousness though, when I look at it, I just kind of remember Matt Stafford with his helmet with the dog bones, and obviously AJ and Massaquoi and all those guys with the No Shaw and all those guys. It was just like the first time really getting a lot of exposure to Georgia, and it was like, dude, yeah. Well, Jay Shicey's asking why blue and why not silver. So to what Keon was talking about, the hottest part of the fire is actually blue. So it kind of correlates with the fire. So I get your logic, but if you're trying to bring in fire, passion, energy, and you already wear red, I'll take the blue. I get it. I understand the silver too. I just think that the blue does make more sense. So there's that correlation there. Which is there any the three names that I listed for the blue caps? None of those should come as a surprise to anybody. Would you? Maybe London would be the most.
Yeah, London is the one that surprised me, but the other two absolutely not.
No, for sure. But that's what you want, though, right? Because when I hear Colby and CJ Ware, and I see that happening, what that's telling me is there's that sense of leadership because we expect CJ Allen to kind of be that leader. We look for that offensive player to be that leader, and it seems like Colby Young's that guy. If that's the case, you need that. You need that because it sets a precedent, and it's kind of leading by example. It's the perfect representation, especially on defense. Right? Like there's a lot of guys that are somewhat inexperienced playing, not a lack of talent, lack of experience. So you get your best player, probably arguably on defense, CJ, and he's bringing that, and you see that right there. That is a huge deal to me, because that's setting yourself up for these games when the season starts. You're going to look to him for that leadership. And if he's given everything, play in and play out, not only are people going to trust him and listen to him and him become that leader, especially on the field, which you've seen when you don't have it, it's a mess. But it also sets a precedent for everybody underneath, the freshmen, the guys that haven't played much. You set that example of what the standard is. Guys, we're familiar with watching these guys play, especially at the linebackers. You kind of watch them lead the teams around. The standard doesn't change. It doesn't. But you've always had a vocal leader. And so CJ doing that to me is a good sign. Very good sign. Especially with 54% is fresh, like first time starting guys. Right? Like that's a big deal. It's a big deal. Motivated saying what's up. What's going on, Motivated? Hopefully you're doing well, sir. But I want to get your thoughts on, so with Colby, right? I think it's good for Colby too. I'm curious to see though if it changes and who else might be next to wear the blue. Let's make a call. Who would be your guess for the next person to don that blue cap? Who would you make a guess for?
Either Chris Cole or Justin Williams.
You're going there. I can see that. I know we've said CJ, we've said London, and we've said, okay. If I had to choose, though, I would want to see KJ.
That's what I was going to say too.
I can see KJ. If I had to choose, give me Gunner. I want to say if Gunner Stockton is wearing a blue cap, sign me up.
Yeah,
Christian Miller.
Good old Percy. Yeah, good old Percy. Motivated ask, is McLeod any good? I'm assuming he's talking about Xavier McLeod.
Yep.
Who's going to start on the D line? And then asked if Josh Horton any good to transfer from Miami. I would expect Horton to play a little bit. I think McLeod will obviously play as well. I'm with this motto that it's going to be a lot of rotation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And right now, through 4 practices, is something that we don't necessarily know what it's going to look like. You've got a lot of talent. We know that. But what's that rotation going to be? Because ideally, I want Nnamdi Boko to kind of set the tone on that first and second down run play, like that run stopping. You're going to need him to do that. If he can do that successfully, this defense, Caleb, this defense is going to get back to the old ways. And I'm talking like, I'm not comparing it to 2021, but I'm talking about being dominant again. Maybe not to that level, but you have the pieces in place to make it happen. So it starts there, it starts in the middle, but then at the same time, I think you have to have a healthy Jordan Hall and Kristen Miller. But if you're looking, and obviously that's 3, right? You would expect Elo Mendoza, you would expect Gabe Harris. You look for guys like Quintavious. You look for guys like Isaiah Gibson and Elijah Griffin, right? Some of these names, we've listed a lot of names, not McLeod, not Horton. I'm just looking at it in the sense that if all these guys are playing good and you can rotate and keep these fresh, buddy, this might be one of the deeper lines that we've had in a long time.
So I was having a conversation earlier today, and it turns out that our defense, we had the 12th ranked defense in the nation. I think we were 7th in the SEC on defense. but we were second. Nuts. We were also second in the SEC on offense, and I believe we were 8th. Or no, we may have been like 6th in the country.
It's crazy.
So when you put all of that into perspective, you get the thought process of, hey, if we come out here this year and we don't have nowhere near the turnovers or drops, it's only going to get better from here, fellas.
For sure. I mean, you listened. We went through this last season, like the drops, the things that plagued this team, right? Not living up to the standard, drops, you name it. The fact that I haven't heard anything about drops or anything close to a drop problem again it's just crucial for the psyche. I have to repeat that because it's that important. When you hear Zach Branch being consistent, right? And I think that's the key for receivers, consistency, right? How many times does that consistency last season, if we were to transfer this to last season, how many times does that change the complete layout of games?
Oh, drastically.
Yeah. Alabama, Arian Smith doesn't drop that one, right, to start the game. He doesn't drop it. Whole game could look different. You don't stall drives, right? We had three drops or whatever back to back to start games. You can't start sluggish again and expect to win. You can't do it. I'm not going to say it's a miracle, but it's a very impressive feat to see us struggle to start games like the way we did last season and still accomplish what the team accomplished. Moving forward, if you have that consistency, we have enough depth, in my opinion, that you should not see that happen. You should not see that happen. If it continues, there's some serious questions. And I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of people chirping about it. There's going to be some serious questions that's going to have to get answered. And it's going to be some finger pointing, but we got to figure it out. If that does happen. So far through 4 practices, doesn't sound like it's a problem. But I want to switch over to the defensive side of the ball. Also been hearing some good things about Ellis Robinson. Keon, I know you're excited for this, and I'm excited for this too because I made my prediction. I thought Ellis is going to start game 1, and it's been consistent buzz and chatter about Ellis. Not saying Daniel won't start or might, but it's never a bad problem.
Right.
If your name's getting brought up in a good way over and over.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that, though? Because obviously we talked about this before. The cornerback 2 spot is very high visibility battle. What do you think when you hear that? When you hear the buzz talking about Ellis, making plays and things like that?
I think it just sets the tone for him coming into this season to really put himself in a position to get more reps. I think Daniel Harris is going to be the number 2 as of right now, moving into the season. But I think you look at that based off of the time that he's put in. He's waited his turn, but I just think this also helps Ellis solidify himself as CB1 going into the next season. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to change the order. I don't think he'll jump Daniel Harris at all. But I do think it's going to put him in a position to where, hopefully by the time he gets out there on the field, we won't be able to tell the difference if Daniel Everett is off the field or not,
Yeah. That just honestly, to me, solidifies the fact that you might see in designated pass situations, the fact that you would put Ellis, or you would feel more comfortable putting Ellis, if he wasn't the starting cornerback 2, you would put Daniel, and Ellis on the field at the same time. If he's doing that well, you have that confidence that you could put him out there. I think you might see that anyway still on where I'm at with it. But that's just me. I wanted to hear that. I was glad to hear that. Very glad to hear that. I want to stick on the defensive side of the ball, but I do want to pose this question. I think this is a very good question. And if this is one of my first time comments seeing Josh here. So it would be a good time to kind of get a feel for us too. So welcome in. He asks, how do we really feel about Gunnar Stockton? And we'll go this way. We'll let Caleb start. And then Keon, you can go, and then I'll wrap up. What are your thoughts about Stockton?
I feel like Stockton's going to be fine. Josh comes from the crew, so he's heard me cuss out Gunnar Stockton on NCAA about every day. He's terrible on the game. In game. Yeah. That's why I said in the game. And I say this on this channel, on every channel I stream on. I don't think that's going to be the case in real life. I think he brings a lot of heart. I think he brings a lot of toughness. And if he can get the ball to the guys he's supposed to get the ball to, I think he's going to be that guy. I mean, Gunnar's one of these, like we've said multiple times, sat around, waited his turn, earned his spot, and I think he's going to go crazy. I think he's going to do what he's supposed to do with it and really make a name for himself and put Georgia right where they need to be in national contention.
Keon, I'll let you continue. What are your thoughts?
I feel very confident. I mean, you go back to the simple fact when we played Notre Dame, you're looking at a guy who threw for 250 yards against a top 10 defense that had first-round DBs. He just has to get that time in to build that consistency. But honestly, I think he's going to be really good. I think we're going to run a lot of the plays that you saw with Stetson Bennett. I think you're going to see more of that this year. And I think it's going to be crazy because I think Gunnar Stockton is not only one taller than Stetson, he might be faster than Stetson, and he has a way bigger arm than what Stetson does. Like, you got to keep in mind, Gunnar Stockton can make every single throw that you want, right? So I think when you're looking at a guy who can be mobile, who can hit all layers of the field, he just has to get consistent with the reps, which, I mean, he's getting that down, and you're even hearing it coming out of fall camp. So I'm really excited for him. I think he's going to do great. I mean, it's the Mean Machine in the red and black coming down the track. So it's just business as usual, honestly.
Yeah, I think when I look at Stockton, I want to preface the fact that it's going to look a lot different than what we were experiencing last season, right? Because I get this feeling people are worried about losing Beck and bringing Gunnar in and things like that. Listen, Gunner's a completely different quarterback, but in theory, if he operates the offense, he will open up the offense in more ways than you can imagine, and he doesn't even have to throw the football. One, last season, if we look at Carson Beck, a lot of the teams did not respect the edge. They crashed. There was no fear of running. The fact that Gunnar has the ability to be that mobile, and he doesn't even have to be super mobile, just tuck it and run, right? We saw that again, saw this last season. As soon as he came in, tucks it, runs one time. The rest of the game in the SEC title game, Texas's edge rushers were not able to crash. They had to respect the outside before making the move. Why is that important? That hesitation, whether it be from the edge rusher, from the linebacker on the weak side, or whatever the case, or strong, whatever, the opposite side of the play, the designed run. If you have to respect his feet and his willingness to pull the ball and run, it will automatically open up running lanes and get the running game going. Something that we had a very hard time doing last season. Very hard time last season. That's just the first part of it. His legs opens up the running game in theory by design. Not only that, I think you're going to see this offense attack the field vertically more and or create space. Get in space. You've got the personnel to do it. You've got Zach Branch, which should be a cheat code in space. You have Noah Thomas. You have Colby Young. You have, if you want to say Dylan Bell, you can still say Dylan Bell. You've got Oscar Delp. You've got Lawson Lucky. You've got a plethora of weapons and personnel around him to get down the field vertically. We saw it against Notre Dame. If you catch the football, it's going to get dangerous. It's going to get nasty because he can hit the field vertically where people aren't expecting it to. However, when you throw vertically, you're not going to see layered passes. Carson Beck was good about layering passes, deep overs and deep crossing routes, stuff like that. Not going to see that, in my opinion. It's just not what he's about. You will see 100-mile-per-hour fastballs coming out of this man's arm entire game.
Dude.
And I'm talking even short. I'm talking about short and intermediate routes. Probably some outs. You might see some. Like
if you're a DB trying to go for a pick, if your hands are positioned correctly, you might jam a finger or two. Like this is a piss missile coming out at 1,000,000 miles per hour, buddy.
Yeah, I say all of that to say this. I need Gunnar Stockton to play confident, but play smart.
Yes.
Protect the football. Right? You're relatively inexperienced, right? Your first start came against Notre Dame in the bowl game, which I'm not going to be mad about that, right? I thought he did some good things. No turnovers, right? I want to see that continue. I know the more opportunities, the more passing attempts is out there, the more opportunities for interceptions. Am I coming out here and saying that Gunnar Stockton's going to be perfect? Absolutely not. There's going to be a moment where we're going to get pissed off because he makes a dumb boneheaded throw and causes an interception. I understand that, but you still have to do the job in protecting the football. If he comes out and protects the football on a week in and week out basis, and he moves the offense and he gets us into the right plays, right? I think that's where him sitting could be beneficial. It is learning the defenses and seeing the defenses and checking into plays, checking out of plays. Didn't do that at the first time, but at the same time, could that be a situation where they weren't willing to let him do that to risk anything? Don't know, but I want to see how he operates. I want to see him check us into plays and check us out of plays. If he can do that, the arm talent's there. I think the leadership, the guys want to play for him, and that matters too. He can be a really good quarterback. Listen, he's getting slept on awfully hard right now. Across the board. Just that's okay. Let it fuel you to go out there and dominate. Right?
Absolutely.
I will also say this. Slide, boss man. Learn to slide.
Please.
Because you were one play away from getting our backup in. And so you don't necessarily you have to understand that you're not the backup anymore. You have to preserve yourself and for your team. But to answer that question, I know it was kind of long-winded, Josh, but there is your answer. That's how we really feel about Gunnar Stockton. Cameron brings up a question too. The time Gunnar scored on the first drive was because Texas had no idea what he was capable of. That changed quickly with adjustments. You can make the adjustments. Sure, teams are going to adjust to that, right? But the thing about the adjustments is it still creates hesitation, right?
Right.
I think in the SEC title game, to what Cameron was asking about or talking about, we did not pull like a design quarterback run. We did not do that enough. Now, part of me thinks it was because of the situation you're trying to preserve your quarterback so you don't get to a third quarterback in one game.
Right.
But nonetheless, all it would take would be a couple more design runs for the quarterback, right? Or just more read option. Those edges are not going to be able to crash down like I just mentioned, Cameron. When that happens, it's going to allow the run plays to develop, right? And it's not going to allow the edge rusher to chase and possibly get to the play before the hole opens up. That's why I'm saying the option, slowing the linebacker down, slowing the edge rusher, right? The read keys, they have to respect it. But it's on Bobo, in my opinion, to design the offense to make defenses have to respect that. Because you can have mobility, but if your play calling is not pushing towards that, people are going to continue to crash if you're not showing the fact that you can run. If you have the ability, but you're not doing it, people are going to go off the tendencies. Keep them guessing. That's the way to do it. Would y'all agree, or would y'all have anything else to say?
No, I agree with you completely. I mean, that's the biggest thing, keeping them guessing, keeping the defense on their toes, and then being able to, pick your spots, stick and move through the defense, and get upfield.
For sure. Yeah, I guess getting back into the fall camp, who's ready for the first scrimmage? Because we're gonna have some fun with that one. Because it's coming. I think it should be this Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. Because you would have first, second, and then third before your game week.
Well, you know me. It's like you said earlier. I'm more y'all are more into the recruit, and I'm more into the actual team. I'm ready to see what they got to say about it. So the scrimmages are my favorite part of the fall. They are everybody's, but it's my favorite part of the off season. How about that? Over the recruiting and stuff, because a lot of people get bent out of shape about recruiting. I'm not going to get upset about a guy that never stepped foot on campus, but with the boys that are on campus, you get to kind of hear how it's going, what the flow is looking like, and I'm head over heels beyond excited for it.
Yeah. Let's do this first scrimmage. We'll kind of do a quick little preview, kind of throw some extra content here for you. What are you expecting? What are you wanting to hear coming out of the first scrimmage once it happens?
I want to hear that the defensive line is disruptive. I want to hear that the defense is out there making plays. I want to see more activity out of our DBs when it comes to the passing game. But for me, defensive line and DBs, those are the things that I'm looking at.
Caleb, what about you?
Well, he pretty much hit the nail on the head. I want to see what the defense looks like, because the last really 2 years, the defensive line hasn't been as pushy as it was the 2 years prior. So I'd like to see that as well. I think the DBs are going to be fine. I want to hear that the receivers are catching, that Gunner's throwing dots, the line's blocking. I want to see the offense pop too. My big thing is I just want everybody to come out healthy. Honestly, I don't want to hear no big injuries.
Man,
that's the main thing.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I know this isn't Georgia related, but when you're talking about injuries in fall camp, it does happen. I think Texas, one of their offensive linemen, already went down with a season-ending injury.
Yeah, wish that gentleman the best.
Yeah,
speedy recovery.
Lagway a boot.
Yeah. Well, the whole Lagway situation, that's a whole different ball. Like, I don't know what to make of that, but like the dude's got to get some practice in, man. Like it is.
Apparently, he's practicing now.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah,
we'll see. I mean, we'll see. Still looked like he was favoring that shit. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So for me, first scrimmage, here's my expectation: Kirby gonna chew everybody ass out. First things first.
That's facts.
Which y'all know this. I'm excited.
Yep.
When he's on that mic. When he's on that mic,
we look like
anybody can get it, and it don't matter. It's just fun. I'm going to say that I get this feeling that the trend will kind of continue with first scrimmages, and I think that means that the offense gets a little bit better of the defense. I expect that, because it seems to me that that's kind of been what's happening so far. I don't see that changing just yet. I think it can change. I think in history it has shown the defense can get the best. All right, part of me also thinks that they script it this way, but neither here nor there. Right. However, if we're seeing, if we see the continuance of Gunner putting it in tight windows and making those throws, or operating the offense effectively, right, handling situations, right, it's handling situational football, right, 2-minute drill. What does that look like, right? Because there's going to be a time where I think you might need that, right? That's what's going to be interesting for me. Also, the running back room. I still want to see more consistency and some buzz coming out of that room. Who's going to be that guy to back up and be that complement to Nate Frazier, as we expect?
I think it's going to be Josh McCray. I think by the time week 1 happens, our running back room is going to be Nate Frazier, Josh McCray, Bo Walker. That's going to be our starting 3 at running back.
Fair. Also, I was about to say, Motivator brings up a good point. Roderick's been doing some good stuff too, and so that's exciting for me too. I feel like that's a promising thing to hear. You want that, really. I kind of want him to stay healthy. I want him to, because we know that he's a bitch when it comes to trying to tackle him, especially the third and fourth quarter. If you're telling me in the third and fourth quarter you can sub out Nate Frazier and put in Roderick or McCray, good luck trying to tackle that, especially 2 fresh big backs like that. Tackle them late in the fourth quarter. Talking about a death march, it can happen.
I mean, and yet again, I just want to drive the point home. I just want everybody to come out healthy.
No, I think that's where it all starts.
Right. That is the biggest.
Caleb, you got anything? I was about to say, Caleb, do you have anything else you want to bring up for ahead of this?
Nah, I think we all pretty much broke it down pretty well.
I also want to. I want to hear some good things coming out of the edge group. Right. We talked about Isaiah. We know Isaiah Gibson coming in as a freshman, right? Elo Mendoza, how's he handling the transition, right? Is he what's the speed change for him? How's he handling that? Right? Not only that, but at the same time, I want to see these names like Quintavious. I want to make sure Quintavious is that dude, like we thought it. Like I know he is. Right? I've been on that horse for a year now. But again, you lose Damon Wilson, right? You lose Mpemba, so you've got to make sure you got bodies there. I don't feel like we have like we've got the talent there. I just want to see who steps and takes it, if you will. Any final thoughts on fall camp so far before we move on?
No, that's it. Hope all them boys make it out healthy, man.
Yeah, that's a fact. All right, boys. Coaches poll dropped. Let's take a look at this coaches poll and let's get our thoughts on this. So first things first, your Texas number 1, Ohio State number 2, Penn State, Georgia, Notre Dame to round out the top 5. Finishing out the top 10 in order: Clemson, Oregon, Bama, LSU, Miami, Arizona State at 11. Illinois at 12, South Carolina 13, Michigan 14, Ole Miss at 15, SMU 16, Florida 17, Tennessee, Indiana, Kansas State rounding out the top 20, A&M, Iowa State, BYU, Texas Tech, and Boise State rounding out the top 25. I want to break it down for you. But first, I want to keep it up to y'all, and let's talk about this. What are y'all's thoughts on that? What are y'all's thoughts? Initial takeaways. What are some thoughts there?
I mean, I think it's preseason. Really, the preseason polls are just for the fans. But if it were me, I'd probably flip flop Georgia and Penn State. I'd probably put Penn State at 5 and Notre Dame at 4. I'm not a believer in Penn State until they do something. But besides that, I mean, I think Florida and Tennessee should be unranked. They suck. That's just my biased opinion.
It's a hype, man. You said it's preseason, right? You got a lot of people hyped up.
Yeah.
I get it. It's just always interesting to listen to social media just go absolutely ape shit.
Oh.
When a team like Georgia goes number 4, oh, you're disrespected. Like, fair. Like, whatever, however you want to take it. Like, go for it. No, I mean, Texas at number 1. Why is Texas number 1? I mean, arguably speaking, right? Like, when I'm looking at it, the same could be said for Ohio State, right? If we're looking at preseason, I think Cameron's got a perfect point here. Penn State does bring back a lot. In their run game, they got 2 great running backs, right? With Katron and was it Singleton, I think it was. And then you've got obviously Drew Aller coming back, and then a solid defense. I know they lost Abdul Carter, Keon, to your Giants, your New York Football Giants. But no, I think when it comes back at this point, it's very close. I think there was only like, what was it, like 28 first place votes for Texas, like 20 or 22 for Ohio State, and then like 14 for Penn State. That tells me that the coaches, when they voted, there's so much uncertainty there with who should be the true number 1. It's not like you're like Georgia 2022, right? Nobody felt like that, or it was almost unanimous, you know. But Cameron does want to clarify that he's not saying they're gonna win it. He just thinks that late season talented teams will pass them. I think they're one of the surest bets to be a Final 5.
I mean, I get what Cameron's saying. I didn't say they shouldn't be rated high. I said I don't think they should be rated above Georgia and Notre Dame. I still think they should be a top 5 team, is what I was saying.
Yeah, I mean, they got enough talent to do it. I think the schedule lines up for them, right? But I look at it this way, too. I want to pose this to y'all. The coaches poll is a perfect example, right? A perfect example on why you generate headlines moving into the start of the season, right? Did you know that this matchup between Texas and Ohio State will be the first time ever that a top 1 and 2 school in the coaches poll has played to start the season? Just saying. But then if you look at it, we're going to go scroll ourselves down a little bit into the lower half of the top 25. Keep in mind, week 0, folks, Kansas State, Iowa State play. That's a top 20. That's a 20 versus 22 matchup in week 0, right? That'll headline week 0.
I think that will headline week 0. Favorites too, right?
Listen, you're not gonna hear me talk about Big 12 favorites because the media completely had that ass backwards. They had Arizona State last year. Keep in mind, they had Arizona State dead last, and they won the conference and made it to the playoffs and about beat Texas. So
I'm just saying.
No, I know you're saying. I'm just also saying too. Cameron's a Texas fan here to learn more about Georgia. Hey, we try to teach ball, man. That's what we try. We try to do.
Hey, you mind pulling up that list again so I can take a look at it?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, we'll pull it up right here. Nope. Let me make sure. There we go.
All right. So if we're going to be honest, the fact that Oklahoma isn't on this list is actually crazy.
What about Georgia Tech? Do you feel like that's an omission or no?
Yeah, I think that's also crazy.
Why do you say that about Oklahoma?
So here's the thing. When you're talking about a team where they got plagued with injuries, you still ended up going out there with a bowl game record. You get a lot of those guys back. I just don't think that it's right to just leave them out of the top 25 because I do think that they are a top 25 team. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, can you pull that list up one more time? Because I wanted to do a compare and contrast thing here.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. So here's another thing. You have Florida right in front of Tennessee. And you have Florida and Tennessee both ahead of A&M. I got A&M at 8-4. That's just me personally.
Mm-hmm.
I think best case scenario for Tennessee, they win 9 games.
Okay.
Why is
I'm
Florida?
assuming. See, everybody wants to put this on Nico leaving. Just because Nico left, I think even with Nico there, they were going to still have to scrap it out to win 9 games.
Yeah,
Like they lost a ton. Like Tennessee lost a ton on the defensive side of the ball. Right? They lost a ton on the defensive side of the ball, for one. And two, obviously losing Nico ain't going to make things matter, but I think you lost your X factor in the last season, and that's Dylan Sampson. So you better have a running game to fix it. I just don't trust the receiving core, and I don't know much about the running backs enough to feel confident about them winning 9 to 10 games. Not maybe 9 games, but 10 will be difficult, in my opinion. That's just me.
Yeah, I'm rolling 10 out for sure. 9-3 at best. You're looking at 6-6. Or I'd say about 7-5 at worst.
I hope they go not bowling. That's just me.
But
there you go. I mean, yeah, fair.
I hate them son of a guns.
So
I'm questioning Michigan on this too. I feel like Michigan's a little bit high.
I don't necessarily agree with the order as well either.
I mean, and again, we're on board. I think we're all in agreement that we know that this is a preseason poll and it doesn't mean much. I know Josh asked to look at the AP poll. I don't think it's out yet. I think it comes out like next week or something. Even then, the AP poll, I still don't necessarily care for it too much. When you hear us talking rankings, it's going to be your college football playoff rankings. That's about when you're going to hear us talk about that.
Well, I
Cameron,
think a lot of people care about the AP poll because that's what ESPN uses.
No, fair. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I think from my perspective, I don't get caught up in the rankings as much as people want. I think Cameron's talking about Oklahoma with this. So Keon had talked about Oklahoma being a top 25 program and this and that. Keep in mind, Oklahoma lost a ton of guys to injury. And I think this is where Cameron's comment about losing, they lost 5 to 6 of their top receivers last year. You know, imagine losing that much at receiver. That alone, they'll be better with a functional quarterback. We can say that. We were at 2019 offense, I think it was. We were down to our 7th string receiver was our number 1. Oh, it was. Okay, I have to look for it. But no, I'm just looking at it, and I understand it's not fun. It's not fun. And then they lost some offensive line guys too, if I'm not mistaken. So trust me, we know what that pain was like, and it's not fun. It's just not. But yeah, no, I think with that though, Oklahoma, I can see them being a top. I think they're like 26. I think if you're looking at the others receiving votes, I think they were 26. So I'm okay with it. I get it. Like the BYU, the Boise State thing, to me, like just because, like, is it because you made the playoff, you just automatically given 25 or something? Maybe, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what they bring back. I really don't.
Me either.
No, Cameron's talking about Oklahoma still. They're talking about upgrading at quarterback. I definitely agree. I think Mateer from Jackson Arnold is going to be massive. But I'm also going to give him a little bit of defense here, defend him a little bit. Keep in mind, he was also playing with hardly any receivers. So we have to be fair. But I do think Mateer in that offense could get interesting. If they get the offense down, we know Venables can fairly handle defense. We know that. So, yeah, Oklahoma could be a very severe spoiler team if you're not careful in the SEC this year. Mike Madden saying, we won with Stetson, we can win with Gunner too. And the back was a pocket, was like a statue, right? Played scared. I think there was just some mental inconsistency. I think the drops ain't going to help you.
Right.
Playing quarterback before you, basic drops will kill a quarterback's momentum and confidence. And when you're doing everything right, when you feel as if you're doing everything right, and it's still not going the way it needs to be, right? And you're also pressuring all the blame on your shoulders and not a lot of you've got, generally speaking, I say generally speaking, it got to a point last season where people were looking at the receivers like, dude, you got to catch the ball. But nonetheless, people looked at Beck for the first good chunk of the season, and he was putting the ball in the spots that needed to be, but guys weren't catching it. And then when he tried to force the subject, right, the same fan base that criticizes him for not being aggressive enough, he turns to be aggressive, throws picks, and then people chastise him for that. It's a lot. It's a lot on your mental. And I think what's going to happen with Gunner, and this is what's going to separate this offense from last season, the mental toughness, right? Sometimes I'm not saying Gunner's stubborn, right? I'm not saying that. But having that short attention span, right? That memory, right? Having that short memory. We talk about it with corners, right? You get burnt, you got to go back there and act like it never happened, right? It's the same concept. I think Gunner can do that a little bit better, just in my opinion. We'll see. We shall see, because we haven't necessarily seen him have to persevere through something like that. So we'll see. We are obviously coming off of a loss, so how he avenges that and how he attacks everything, so far I think has been good. Like I said, based off of what we had talked about to this point through fall camp, I'm feeling good about that. Right. So what is Dog Day Afternoon? What is going on? He said, what it is, gents. Caucasian translation. How is it going? Either way, neither here nor there. But yeah, so I'm just looking at that though, right? The coaches poll itself, it's really just off-season talking points, but you will generate some headlines. Like I said, Texas, Ohio State, we knew it was going to be a big matchup anyways. Now you add the fact that it's historical in the sense of no team has played no one versus no number two to start the season, right? You're going to have history there. And I'm telling you right now, whoever wins that game, his fan base is going to be they're going to be popping some shit. Just saying. Ducati in the house. Yes, sir. You're to ask. Elijah Griffin. Oh, yeah. Dude. Simple enough. That's one word, 4 letters. Dude. Yeah. I'm bullish on Elijah Ducati. I think we've talked enough about Elijah though before. Yeah, no, for sure. Absolute dude. I'm extremely excited, Keon. We've talked about this off air.
Absolutely.
Shit's gonna get nasty if he hits his potential like we think. Because he's gonna play this year. He's gonna play this year.
A lot this year.
I think so. And that right there, I want to see how he handles especially as you get into conference games, how he can handle the speed and the strength of conference play, right? Like, part of me just wants to see this and kind of just paint my brain here, all right? You're playing Kentucky, right? You're at home, you're playing Kentucky, and you're getting some significant snaps against a Kentucky team. Physical team, right? I think you can all say that. Physical team. They're gonna, they're physical. That way we play is physical. That right there is going to tell me a lot more, I think, than if you try to, like, you could say against a big matchup like Texas or Alabama. I'm completely on board for listening to it. But I think how he handles a game after, right? Like how he handles the game after Auburn or right after a big matchup. See how he handles that transition. I can't wait for it though. Cannot wait for it. Ducati also says Micah Morris. Another dude to watch out for sure. I think he needs to, in my opinion, I want to get your thoughts on this. I feel like I want Micah Morris to be the anchor of that offensive line from the guard spot. I just want to hear that. Would you agree, or would you have somebody else?
No, I think that's the perfect person. I mean, because outside of like Ernest Green, I'd say Micah's got more snaps than anybody else on that offensive line. I can make that argument. And plus, trust him, aggressive guy, aggressive hand. So I think I think that fits him very well.
Just a road grader, what feels like, right? Like,
yeah. Certified people.
I think the right. Yes, that's a fact. I need to see the other guard spot too, though. I want to see who takes it, because I made the prediction that we thought that Calhoun was going to be the starting right guard, and it sounds like actually Michael Unai took the first team snaps to start day one at the very least. Does that make any kind of situation make you scratch your head or kind of raise some questions like, oh, wow, interesting?
No, not really. I mean, you got guys out there competing from top to bottom, so I'm really excited for it.
Keon, how big of an impact is losing a guy like Xavier Truss going to be on this team from last year?
You know, sometimes when you pray, you might feel like you're down, right? Like I might just be talking into a void. And then there's other times when you pray, God gives you exactly what you want. I will just let y'all decide which one he gave us. So, I mean, yeah, I have nothing else to say.
I mean, I'm just saying he was some valuable experience. I'll say that nicely, but I think there's a situation where you become better just by the subtraction aspect of things. And I was glad that he went to Minnesota on the undrafted side of things too. I thought that was good. I think that'd be a good spot for him to grow.
Absolutely.
On a serious note. But yeah, I think opening this up to Calhoun and opening it up to Unai, I think Juan Gaston. Yeah, I mean, you seem bullish on him, Caleb. I know we've talked about him too. He's going to play. It's just whose spot is he going to take on it? When? How much time is he going to take? I'm excited for these trenches, man. Y'all know this. We've said it over and over throughout the years. The game is won in the trenches. You know this, and I know it. We all know it.
You know, that big-ass offensive lineman class, I think that's another thing that, like, our fan base needs to understand. That big-ass offensive lineman class we got about, like, 2 years ago, they're on the field now. So it's like, oh, shit.
It's really put up or shut up time for that, by the way.
Real shit. Looking at you, Stacey Searles.
And I will say this. To recruit that after the last couple from Luke, listen, the recruiting side of things, I'll take that gladly. But I just want to see it translate to some success. I think you will. By the way,
you will too.
I think you will. Let's do this. Keon, Dawgs landed their 31st commitment in the class. Anthony Lonon drops his commitment, goes to Georgia over Georgia Tech. And ain't it crazy that defensive line haul that Trey Scott's assembled this cycle? It is fucking bananas.
Honestly, I'm looking at it like it's the best defensive line class in the nation. Honestly, I'm really excited about the guys that we have coming in. AJ has the craziest official visit picture I have ever fucking seen. When have you ever seen a recruit in full gear take a picture on his head, like on a handstand? And this isn't no like I'm slumped over handstand. Like he's in parade rest on his head. Like
my man, you would have thought he did. My man thought he did just a reverse a vertical flip on the camera.
Man. Just right on the cranium.
See, I think Ducati says that Lonon moves to defensive end. The thing about it is, I think you can see him play anywhere from 3 all the way out to 9. That's the way it seems to be that the talk is his versatility there, because he's like 6'2", 260, right? And I feel like if you need to slide him in, you could put some weight on him, but at the same time, you keep him there, you can play him all the way out wide. He's super athletic too, so it's like it's kind of that that versatile piece of the defensive line haul where you've got guys like Valdon Sone, right, where you just know he's going to be an invaluable 3 tech, right? You've got PJ Dean that could be a 5 or a 7, right? I'm excited to see that his first season at DN. He's going to be playing at like 255, Keon, from 280. So I'm excited to see that up here in Clemens this season. Obviously, you got Ekene, right, which I know that's not defensive line, but again, his brother, I'm just excited to see him on the field, right? I think this is where this season will be his make or break season, in my opinion, because you're going to need him to be that true nose tech or that nose tackle. And him and Nasir Johnson, I think, are going to be your nose tackles. But
Absolutely.
Getting back to the recruiting class, right? You look at guys like Seven Cloud. You look at guys like Valdon Sone, right? Preston Carey. I think that's another one. People got to remember, like, you got 7 dudes on this class. It is loaded.
The Italian mob boss.
Loaded. Yeah, I think he committed in like Wayne Manor or some shit. Like, looked like it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, that alone scores some points for me.
Yeah, like he definitely committed and then went Nate Pasta later. I can respect it.
I'm talking like, no, hold on, wait. Pause.
Like seafood pasta.
I was about to ask, what specific pasta are we talking about here?
Seafood pasta. I'm thinking seafood pasta, panini noodles.
Penne noodles, okay.
Chopped up sausages, some shrimp in there, you know.
See, you know what, though? I'm going to one-up you and say fettuccine and steak.
That could have been it as an appetizer.
That's what I was
like this.
My man said, whole hog, appetizer only.
Right.
Like,
so you put that whole bevo on the grill. I ain't too proud.
Let's see. Ducati asked about what are we hearing about Tyler Chukium, Florida offensive line commit, I think it is. I would expect Georgia probably be pushing there. I'm just not sold on it yet. I think interior wise, you're set. You got Nnamdi at your tackle spot. I know it would be funny if you did flip Florida's top offensive line commit. It would be funny. I just don't know if it happens. I'm not saying it can't happen because Kirby and them's going in this, like, it feels like Ash Ketchum style, got to catch them all type shit this season for this recruiting class. But it's not. It is good all the time. Greed is good all the time. And all the time, greed is good. I know. Did I do that right, Keon?
Yeah, you got it.
I got it? Hell yeah. No, I just don't know. I haven't heard a ton of it, Ducati, but nonetheless, if you flip them and you add them to the class, hey, sign me up. You took away you hurt your rival at the very least. Just say. Any final thoughts, boys, before we wrap this up and start getting ready? Keep up with the fall camp and everything, but before we move on for the night, any final thoughts?
No, that's it.
I'll tell you what. Go ahead, Caleb. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to tell Justin Kane I appreciate it.
You got the compliment on the man cave, yeah. That's your personal office space, actually. So there you go. I wish I could say the same, but it is what it is. Oh, yeah. Ducati brought up Kojo. That's the tackle we brought up earlier in the show. Yeah, that's rough. That's why we were talking earlier about injuries, man. You just want everybody to stay healthy as possible. Especially, you don't want injuries to happen anywhere. We know it happens, but you just don't wish for injuries anywhere.
Especially after the way how we got banged up last year.
Shit,
Fam, I'm praying that the water boys stay safe. What the fuck?
Cameron, they did start pads. They've already started pads. They did it Saturday. So first padded practice was Saturday. I have one final thought. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, do so now. Now is the time to do it. We're here
right now.
Right now.
Do I
look like a cat to you, boy?
Right
no,
now.
Seriously though. Make sure to like and subscribe. It's all free. Stay tuned. Listen, stay tuned. We got a bunch of Georgia stuff coming through the season. Y'all know that. Gonna tease a little something. Check the pinned post on our X account.
What?
Just saying. Yeah, just saying. Got some stuff coming this season. I think y'all are going to be thoroughly excited to see. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking really forward to it. Going to be a loaded season. Just giving y'all a heads up. Since we've got some folks here, got a loaded season. Looking forward to all of it though. From the previews to from the recaps to the previews and. DGD Pick'em's coming back, game day picks. We're going to kind of revamp that. New segments coming in the season as well. Guys, there's so much shit coming soon for the season. But it all starts with you hitting that like button and subscribing. And if you're listening on the podcast, folks, rate us and review us and go to our social media. Find us on social media. Actually, do yourself a favor. I'm telling you, you would actually have a good time watching this on YouTube. So make sure to go to our channels. There's dgdpod.com/YouTube. Go subscribe, even if you're listening on audio. It's fun. It's worth the watch. I promise. But nonetheless.
And get to see our pretty faces.
And mine twice a day, every day.
Yeah. And that's another thing, too, for those that are in here listening. I got Caleb over here streaming College Football 26. Caleb, give them an update where you are, man. What you doing? There's big news.
I'm ranked number 170 on the dot in the world right now. Been taking names here lately. And also, I am hosting a tournament, College Football 26 tournament, Friday, August the 15th, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a free entry. Winner gets $100 and a chance to play me for an extra $50. So if y'all are interested in that, the only thing I require is that you're subscribed on YouTube, followed on Twitch and Facebook. So right here on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook at KTG13TV, and that's your free entry. So
yeah,
y'all want
for
to chance
sure.
with the big dog, come get it.
Yeah, now that the 26 game is fun. I'm more of a dynasty guy. However, it's fun to watch the online play. That's just me, though. I'm more of a watcher when it comes to online, people playing each other. However, again, that dynasty, I fucks with that dynasty.
So heavy. Heavy.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, do want to let everybody know, stay on the lookout for upcoming content. Going to be dropping my predictions as the weeks go on the SEC teams, college football teams in general, what I think their record is, highs and lows, and what I think their record is going to be. So be on the lookout for that as well.
Boys, so I wanted to pose this question now, and we'll let the YouTube comments decide whether we'll give you an extra vote here. All right. So if you're watching on YouTube right now, type yes or no to this question. Should we do immediate reaction spaces on X, Keon, after games? Should we do that? Or do we move it to our Discord server for exclusive content?
I like the Discord server.
We're gonna give it a little bit. We're gonna talk this out, but if you're in here, let us know Discord, X. Don't worry about it. Those are the options. Let us know if we should do it, and if so, where should we do it? Listen, we have our own Discord server where we can talk dog football. You don't have to worry about any other fan base. You could talk strictly dog football. Unlike Twitter, right? Twitter, you have the opportunity for people to come in and whatever. Not saying that they don't need to listen or whatever. That's fine. That's up to them completely. However, Discord's like your safe space. You talk dog football, you criticize all you need in a private setting. But we can also do immediate reaction post-game spaces where you can come in, request a mic, and jump in and talk about it on Twitter. So let us know in the comments below. We'll keep monitoring even after we go offline. Keep an eye out for it. But please let us know. The more engagement to this, the better, so that we know what we can do for you, right? So make sure to let us know what your thoughts are for that. That's just another way for us to bring content to you guys.
Yeah,
simple enough. So you ask, we shall receive. You just let us know how you want it done. Simple enough. With that being said, I have nothing left. Listen, we're gearing up over here at the DGD Podcast for a busy fucking season, folks, and we're making it extremely fun for everybody. You'll understand. You will understand starting week 1 exactly what we mean by saying we're doing it for you. You will understand. Period. Stick around and stay tuned to that, though. We will start making some posts as the season gets closer, kind of getting you on board with what's going on. So you need to make sure you're subscribed, you're liking the stuff, getting people in front of us. We're going to be able to sit there and help everyone out with some quality content, or so we hope and believe that we think we're doing. Let us know if we're making shit content. Let us know. Hey, I can handle criticism. Did it before. All right, I'm done speaking. Are y'all done?
We can head out.
Head out like a fetus. Copy that. That's all we've got for the DGD Podcast. Again, I'm Robert Reynolds. That's Keon. That's Caleb. We'll catch y'all next time. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Dawgs.